All right. Good morning, everyone. Geez, I don't look at the time. It's probably like 09:15 hours, give or take. 09:30 at the most. Today's Friday, February 24th. This is actually the second shoot. The first shoot, I did around 07:40 hours. I got interrupted, and then I had to stop briefly because my father was ready. He was kind enough to give me and our daughter a ride to school. To doctor's office. Her daughter's not feeling well, so she did not go to school yesterday. See, I even had to put out my half of the cigarette because I got stopped so briefly. We were supposed to leave at 8 because it's right up the street, and essentially this actually might be better because at 8 they stopped the school traffic, the school lights. So we did have to wait like a minute at the school, so it wasn't that long. I'm here anyway. So I just wanted to give you guys an update. Not about my daughter. Thank goodness we took her to the doctor today. She got her medication. So, just, heaven willing, she will be good to go back as soon as she feels better. They told me just as long as she shows no symptoms of a fever, without you having to give her any Tylenol or anything for pain for 24 hours, she's good to go back. But if in 3 or 4 days she's not feeling better, I gotta bring her back. I just want to shoot this quick video this morning because to let everybody know, I sent this message to individuals yesterday, but I want to let everybody else know who might be watching that I added a different tier, another tier to the Patreon, because the dollar tier, essentially I did that on purpose because I do know that the quality of my content is not, great. It's just a vlog essentially, which, is just me and an iPhone 13 mini, and that's it. Oh, right now I'm using a stand for an iPad, so you can put your iPad on it and watch movies. That's what I use as my tripod, I guess you could say. So I have an iPad holder stand, and I don't have any mics. I don't have any lights. I don't have write scripts. I don't have anybody that does any sounds, any animations, none of that stuff. Nothing at all. The only editing that I do is through an app that comes on iOS. Everything, if I do a graphic, like at the end of this video, when I say thank you to right now I have one patron as of far, which I thank you. I did that through the Notes app, and I just put it onto the end of the video, and that's all I have to work with right now. It's an iPhone 13 mini, and again, I do everything all on my own, which is why these videos are the way they are. But someone recommended to me to start YouTube because I have a lot of downtime, let's just say. I applied for jobs, and I did get one interview, and this was before the super hyperinflation. It's not a hyperinflation, but might as well call it hyperinflation because the amount that prices have soared in certain areas of the supermarket by like 100%. JC. I'm sorry. I don't mean to take, if some people consider that name, hollowed. I apologize for blasphemy, but that is not right. Products that people eat, raising the prices by 100%. That is just this is disgusting. What our economy has done. Granted, they have raised minimum wage, but in the area where I live in particularly, which is South Florida, it's almost like, it's a major metropolitan area, and any major metropolitan area, you cannot afford living on anything minimum wage, or even anything that's 100% over minimum wage. Not even, because if you get let's say minimum wage plus an extra 100% of that same wage, so you get double, right? Let's say minimum wage right now is, I think, like $11-12. Let's say you get paid $24 an hour. That translates roughly to about I believe I think $960 a week. And to make rent, it's like $3,000 a week. I meant to say a month. I remember that the advice was always a weekly paycheck should cover rent. So how you got to make $3,000 a week? If anybody out there knows a job, that I can essentially start, even making, let's say, 25, right? And have the ability to demonstrate to the employer that within 90 days I'm worthy of receiving extra compensation, and then eventually within like a year or two reach that $3,000, let me know, because that's something that I'll admit it's worth spending 40, maybe 50 hours away from my family to do, because I'll be able to provide. Anything else, it's just going to be monies so that we can just support ourselves for just essentials. Anybody living in this area, if you're working for a company like Walmart, or even where I want to work at, when the only reason I want to work there is because it's not the company is not owned by shareholders, it's owned by the employees. So that actually gives you benefits for when you retire, based on the amount of hours that you work. I know they've changed it, and I know that it's changed a lot, in the past like 30 years, but you're not going to be a millionaire anymore if you retire as a manager. The old school guys, they're millionaires, but not anymore. But still, it's still a better system than working for any other company that might be, a publicly traded company, where they're going to want to pay you the minimum. And like I said, you have to apply for welfare. You have to apply for things like supplemental nutritional assistant benefit, or whatever it's called, SNAP, supplemental nutrition assistant program. You have to apply for Section 8 housing. You have to apply for a whole bunch of things, and that's the only way you can actually support yourself, unless you came up somehow, whether it be a lawsuit, whether it be through black market activities, or whether it be lottery winnings or something like that, and you were able to unless you could also be very disciplined, like allegedly the Chinese are, according to this billionaire I saw the other day on a quick YouTube video, that they save because they've been through misery. That's what he said his country is. He said that even though that they've raised a lot of people from into the middle class, that they still remember the days of poverty, so therefore, even though they spend, they save more than they spend. And he was saying that's the difference between our economy, the American economy, and the Chinese economy. That the Chinese economy is ready for when there is, just in case, a recession over there. They have money saved so they can spend, so that they can have living money during the bad times. But not over here. Over here in the States, he alleged that we like to spend tomorrow's money. Sorry about that. That's my neighbors. Are you guys okay? I hear you guys. You need water? I'm very concerned about my neighbors that live directly behind me, because they leave their dogs outside. But one thing, if you're a dog owner, you must keep a bowl of water allowed for them to have at all times, 24 hours a day, food is different. Food, you need to feed them. You could do it. I prefer 2 times a day. Maybe once in the morning, once in the evening. But don't leave the food tray out. Put it out for 20, 30 minutes. If they don't eat it at all, you take it back. Because that's, that's proper dog ownership. People who train dogs will tell you that. Anyways, so yeah, going back to subject at hand. That's the reason why I did not take the only job out of all the applications that I put in that actually called me back to hire me, because at that time it was minimum wage. And I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I prefer, instead of making a few dollars at working, and putting so much sweat and effort into it, for what's just going to be essentially, spending money just to get a couple of essentials, because that's all going to be able to buy. It's not going to be able to put a roof over our heads. It's not going to be able to, if I spend a week's paycheck to buy clothing, thank goodness you only need to buy that every once in a while. Our daughter's still growing, whatever. But then you don't have money for anything else. So I think time with the family and time with my daughter and with people you love, it's worth more than a minimum wage salary. And that's just my opinion. Everybody's got their own opinions. Some people might say I don't have a good work ethic, and I would counter that with the fact that it's not about not having a good work ethic, it's about having different values. So I didn't use it, I forgot that. So yeah, that's that. Anyways, I added a second level tier. This one's for Lincoln a month, and I did put it on the Patreon page with what I'm gonna be doing for the every tier is supposed to offer the patrons like different rewards. I did write it down on there, and I did also put, I think that the first 8 patrons that sign up for the $1 tier, I think I'm going to allow them to also as well to be eligible to an extent for the level 2 tier, just as an incentive if you want to sign up right now for just $1 a month. And to be briefly, the incentive was going to be, it's got to be somebody that lives either in South Florida or in the state of Florida and is willing to drive to South Florida. And I was just going to gift someone who really was willing to take care of it and is fond of nature and is fond of just trees in general and would like to plant a tree in the property. One of the either 7-Eleven, 22nd, or Semilla. So just thank you for watching, guys. Have a blessed day. Be kind to one another. And that's it. Bye.